Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome back for yet another Gamma World module review. This time, we are talking about the Delta Fragment, one of the last modules for, I want to say, Gamma World 3rd edition. This time we have, ostensibly for the most part, an overland adventure. There are a few side quests and things that I believe go underground or in caves and things like that. For the most part, you are continuing your quest for the parts, the missing parts for the Sky Chariot that will launch humanity and mutant kind, I guess, and reunite them in space with the lost cities of man. As you remember from the previous videos, the lost cities of man are living in a Warden-class starship, a great throwback from the Metamorphosis Alpha game all the way back in the early 70s, one of TSR's first projects, and it's, you know, it's a nice throwback, callback to what got it all started. This time, the players will be going throughout the flower lands and the accompanying countryside, looking for none other than these guys. I'm not going to tell you too much, but you know, after all those years and so much hype over, you know, who is this? You know, can I get one of those? Can I ride one of those? Can I get that suit? You know, what's that rifle? All that. Well, the players have been tasked with finding those two individuals, and like I said, I'm not going to give away too much about it because I didn't know that that's what was going to happen as I was reading it, because they're not on the cover of the module, and you know, as you get into it, you're like, oh, no way. You know, I actually had that miniature back in the day. I think it was called the Ultimate ATV. Unfortunately, I only have parts of it left, and if I could find another copy of that, I would paint it up on the show for you guys, but I don't know where to find one. And I'm sure it would be a pretty penny to find it. And should the players do all the things in addition to thwarting Timon's push to conquer the last friendly lands in Gamma World with his never-ending quest for domination, the players will be rewarded with yet another piece of the puzzle. I believe this time it's the engines and the power plant for the Sky Chariot, which they also get a pretty cool hover truck to make to bring the parts back to Haven. I believe it's the city of, or the town of Haven, where the starship will be put together, if not going back to the pit of despair to build their Sky Chariot. I'm really looking forward to the Omega Project, which is the last module. However, I do have Epsilon Cyborgs next to review for you, and I'm just about halfway through that, so I'll get to it tomorrow. But so far, it's had, you know, its ups and downs, and a whole lot of side quests and a whole lot of, you know, pre-planned encounters. This one is almost nothing but you've literally got to go through all of the pre-planned encounters, where the DM puts them, you know, how quantum he's gonna, you know, make your ogres. It's you know, it's a bit of a railroad, but the encounters are well put together and meaningful, and not just, you know, random wandering monsters. Although I'm certain that any good GM is going to put a lot of that in the adventure. A great way to insert key items that the players are going to need to make it through the adventure. But there's a lot of diplomacy required in this adventure, a lot of holding your tongue, and a lot of trying to cooperate and be the peacekeepers and unite these people against Timon, as well as, you know, their underlying quest of, you know, putting together the Sky Chariot. So it's a nice piece of the overall, nice chapter, I should say, of the overall campaign. I really wish I could run through it as a player. Running it as a GM, there's some really monotonous aspects of it. I guess for players and GMs overall the whole story arc. But it is the only Gamma World adventure that runs, you know, this long. And having gone through 4 out of the 5, I think, adventure modules so far, this could easily take well over a year, if not 2, to really play it. Not to hurry up and rush toward the end, because once you get to the Sky Chariot and you get to the Warden Starship, you're essentially playing Metamorphosis Alpha. Obviously, you could use the Gamma World rules for that, but only one way to find out. That's to keep reading, keep reviewing these modules, and I'll give you my final opinion probably by the end of, yeah, definitely. I'm going to try and squeeze it in before Friday. That way, the little bit that's left of the month, if there is anything left, I have to look at a calendar, I can focus on the other stuff. Gamma World 5th edition, Wretched Apocalypse, and the other 3 modules for, I guess it's 4th edition, which not a fan of the game system, but wasn't a fan of 3rd edition either. Never could wrap my head around Face Rip and that whole resolution system, but easily modifiable, the story, the adventure, the modules, etc. for any edition of Gamma World. Of course, though, Gamma World 2nd edition is the superior version, but we'll get to that at the end of the month. You guys have a great day. Thanks for playing along. I will see you guys all tomorrow, taking the rest of the evening off unless I go hang out with one of my fellow YouTubers on their shows, but I really need to finish watching Fallout, and if you guys are interested, me and the boy will do a review once we get to the end of that. Let me know in the comment section what you guys would like to see, and until then, folks, have a great day, and as always, happy trails.